Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental and the Dental Road Warrior, turning for episode 106 in the series. So today I want to talk about two things that you need to put in place in order to get the game going in your practice. So I've talked about this whole thing being a game episodes ago, but it bears repeating because I can't tell you how many practices I go into these days and there's just no game going on, right, at all. The game is, a lot of times, if there's no game to play, by the way, it becomes like your team docs, trying to put you out of business, or drive you crazy, or cause you stress, or let the inmates run the asylum, let the patients take over, that kind of thing. So you need, as a leader, to create the game in this practice, because if you don't, it becomes a crazy, nutty situation in the practice. It becomes very stressful on you. This is the time of the year when we're getting together with our accountants and we're getting the news, good or bad, as to what kind of money am I making or not making in the practice, right? The money is a scoreboard, right? That's what I tell my clients. The money is just a scoreboard of how many people you're helping in the practice every single month. So it's okay to keep score. It's okay to track money, to know where your money's going, what's happening with your money. If you're winning, if you're making money, you're losing, you're not making money. All right, because that's an indicator of how many people we are helping, and hopefully we're doing everything honestly and ethically above board, which I'm sure that 99% of people watching this are. So there's nothing wrong with that, right? But the team that's there, if you wanted just to make it be a job where they come to work every day and just show up, punch a clock, sign in the computer or whatever, way you keep track of them, and just do the work in the practice. You don't want to have a situation where you have people coming into the practice and just going through the motions, doing what they're trained to do clinically, and watch the clock at a certain time, punch out and go home. Repeat process, right? This is not playing the game. This is doing the job, so to speak, but it's never going to bring you to the levels of practice you want to be at, because the whole idea here is to win this game, right? And the idea of winning this game is in abundance, right? If you're not creating abundance in your practice and you're not hitting certain numbers, and you're not paying yourself a good wage and putting money aside for your family and thriving, and I see so many practices these days going for 50, 60, 70% of what they're really worth because of bad business practices and just not putting attention on exit strategy and all these things. But the main thing is because it's just day-to-day operations, business as usual, and no game going on. So the secret of getting things going in the right direction and getting things, people motivated, is two steps. Give people a game to play and keep score. That's what it comes down to. Give people a game to play and keep score. And good coaching will help you create a game in your practice, right? And it's not just coming up with a collection number or a production number or a number of new patients or whatever. There's got to be a how-to behind this. You can't say to the team, I declare the game this month is 100,000 in collections. Well, that's great. Last month it was 70,000. How are we going to get to 100,000? How are we going to make that other 30K? And by the way, what do we do if we, to get this number? What do we get if we hit this number? So if we were at 70, now we get to 100. What do we get out of this deal? It's good that you're cashing in. It's got to be a game that everybody wins. So, but you got to give them a game to play in the first place and let them know what they knew if they win, right? There's no fun playing a game where you're not keeping score and no one's winning, right? And then what's even worse is, because we don't keep score, we don't take a look at anything, then all of a sudden we let the team know, hey guys, we're losing here. I didn't want to tell you we had a bad year last year, so no raises, no bonuses, nothing. And they're like, oh, that sucks, right? But if they were tracking it all along and they were engaged and there was a game to play and they're looking at a score every single day, right, which you should be doing, because all my clients do, we track things daily and we know where they stand daily, and I can call anybody up on the phone immediately on any given day and ask my managers or the people they hey, what's the score? And they should know what it is, right? Legit. But there's just too much right now, and just especially post-COVID. We got into this malaise, post-COVID, where we're just kind of going along, getting back into things, and just trying to get back where we were before and whatever, right? So we got to stop dragging ourselves like that. We got to get pumped up and motivated and excited about what we do. You loved it at one time. And the reason why it's gotten to the point where you don't love it is because all this kind of stuff beats us down in practice. And before you know it, all the game becomes an eternal struggle of them against you, patients against you, staff against you, you against them. It's not fun that particular way, because again, we need to keep the attention's got to be on something that's not amongst ourselves, right? That's how we get this soap opera going on in practice. And I meet with so many doctors behind closed doors, and it's so painfully apparent that there's nobody there that has any idea what this game is, where we're taking this practice, what are we trying to achieve here, what are we getting it out of here if we succeed, right? It just becomes like a service center where that's how clinics work. Pump them in the door, get them in the door, treat them out the door, conveyor belt kind of situation and out. And we don't want to fall in this clinic mentality of things where it's just about volume and just all about treatment and whatever. There's a lot going on in there when it comes to the mental state of your team and the people in your practice. So if they're not pumped up and excited and motivated every day, and their morale is not high, right? And playing a game, does keep bringing you up to a higher level of emotional state, right? So it's fun playing games, right? If you ever played any kind of game outside of, let's say you played a board game or have a family night board game, or you go to a game and watch a game, why do you do that? You go do that because it's fun, right? And the only way it's going to be fun is if people are winning in there, right? So the secret of success in the beginning, what we do is, to take over whatever turmoil or strife may be going on in the practice. It's amazing how the attention goes off that. Hey, look at this game we got for you guys to play. You're all going to make an extra $500 a month this month if you do that. And when the doctor's going to make X, and it's all going to be great. Now you're not worried about raises anymore, bonuses. You got a whole incentive program right there in front of you. Here's how you hit it. This is what you got to do. Make it be so everybody can track it and put it out in the open, because these secret bonus systems and these secret things that we do for people behind closed doors don't work because they don't know what's going on and they think it's not legit or above board. You want to make sure they understand what the game is going in there, that they're in control of it, they know the rules, right? And if they don't follow them, they don't get it. There's always stipulations on this kind of any kind of bonus system you put in place. It's not automatic. As I've seen many bad bonus systems in my time that don't work one way or the other. It's got to work for everybody, right? But now coming out of this whole thing that we're coming out of, and we're getting back into things, you should be a leader. And what good leaders do, they create the game and say, here it is, let's go for it, let's make it happen, I'm going to support you. And that's the other thing. If you put a game in place, you got to participate too. It just can't be for the team. It's got to be for you as well too. You got to be playing the game along with them, right? I might have mentioned this story, this classic story, many at the Road War episodes. So if I have a couple of fanatics that have watched me from the beginning, you may remember the story. Otherwise, you probably don't. But I'll repeat it again. But here's an ultimate example of a doctor playing the game. I remember one month there was a practice, and they were coming in close to hitting what was third tier, which is a very high bonus level in the practice. Third tier bonus was a lot of money for the doctor, but also for the team, for individual. Right? And the doctor basically was having a health issue that day. He started to have a fever, sweating, but he didn't let his team on, right? Until at the end of the day, he said, you got to get me out. He had to call the ambulance that had come for him, take him out of there on a stretcher, because he had a kidney infection, but he didn't want to leave the office and let the team hanging and not get the bonus for the team. And that's a true story. That's a motivated guy, to do that. He wasn't doing it for himself. He didn't want to let the team down because they were so close and they wanted to hit it. They wanted to make sure they hit the highest tier before he went out of the office. That's a bit extreme. I don't coach people to say, hey, they got medical conditions, suck it up, say they play the game. But that's what I'm talking about, right? That's a person that's setting the standard in his practice, and team's gonna go, wow, that doc did that. He did this for us to make sure we got that bonus and that we won that game. Okay, so to reiterate, it's time to go in after you watch this, create a game, say, this is what it is, right? This is how we're going to keep score, this is who's in charge of it, what do they get when they win, show them how to get there, just don't have unrealistic expectations here, it's going to go down, and play along with them, and then you win. It's a great life that way, and that's what's good. You need coaching for this, it's out here, you know how to reach me here, right? Message me from this video. You can reach out many different ways on my website, whatever you want to do. We're here to help you. We'll do an analysis. We'll go on site, do whatever you can to help you out, show you how this is done. No cost to you. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you're liking them, share them if you can. If you got any ideas for topics, please let me know. And I'll be more than happy to try to get to them and do one in an upcoming episode. Again, thanks for watching.